Hello everyone online. We're just going to continue this debate just for maybe about 10 more minutes, and we'll be able to answer all the burning questions.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the webcast, and this is basically where we ask the sauciest questions, okay? And I was actually asking Pete earlier on, I mean, you know, you're a father of two.
Yes.
You know, at some point, they may be following in their daddy's footsteps. They might be blogging on, you know, on it. How are you going to actually teach them, what kind of guidelines are you going to give them, you know, when they start blogs on their own?
If your kids went into Peggy's website and said, wow, she got like over 100,000 hits because of this video, I'm going to do the same thing for my blog, Dad. What are you going to say to them?
Depends on their age. I mean, at the moment they're like 1 and 4, so I don't have to worry for a while.
Well, the problem is I have young cousins, they're at the age, they're 16, 14, they're at the age where they're able to, you know how to create a blog and go into it every day. And that's pretty much the age that we're talking about, like 14.
I would be really concerned, actually, and I'd be probably maybe monitoring more than Sonny's dad, more than Peggy's dad, Sonny would. So.
Do you think about these things, Peggy, that, you know, you have young teenagers, blogs are just websites that a lot of young teenagers actually go into.
I think they get more information from the internet than from any other media.
But how do you stop them from this sort of information? You know, they can surf for porn, and porn, it can just immediately appear on their website.
So you're putting yourself along the same lines as porn?
Definitely not. I would say that I'm definitely not close to porn.
But you're putting out material. Do you think about the impact that it has on?
Well, I have a younger sister that's 10 years old.
Does she blog too?
Well, she's definitely will be an upcoming blogger in the future.
Okay.
But well, I mean, they do treat it like an entertainment. There's so many entertainment online, you know. When it's an entertainment, you should not put much thoughts into it. You should just laugh it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you, Kirsten. You have a very different type of blog.
Yeah.
In all truthfulness, do you think a majority of the blogs, those who engage in more sensationalist type topics, do they promote or impart negative values onto young people?
I don't think they impart negative values because they're just there, and they're always going to be there. So what would worry me is if that's the only thing a little kid would see and nothing else.
All right.
And because if that's the only influence they have, then that's a little bit worrying.
Okay. Let me ask you guys, do you guys feel there should be some sort of authority that governs blogs? Because based on what we know, we actually don't think there actually is someone that actually monitors blogs to talk about what extent you can go through, setting limits for you guys.
This is a space for freedom of speech. If you want to govern this, you know, then nobody is going to say much things online.
So basically anything should be able to go?
Of course.
Anything goes on.
Having said that, there are some regulations out there, and there's people have been in trouble for writing the wrong things.
They're put in a jail.
There was one website that became you know, the source of bloggers who wanted to say things that couldn't normally be said. Things were hosted offshore, and but that's now shutting down as well, I believe.
Yeah, they will shut it down.
There are two things there. One is about being on the right side of the law, and the other thing is about being morally right or morally wrong. And right side of the law, as they mentioned, you have to be. There's no choice there. There's no option there. But being morally right or wrong is really up to people's sensibility.
Well, it's a big risk for advertisers, isn't it? Especially when they choose to advertise on a particular blog. I mean, their image is almost at the mercy of this blogger. Because their product is associated with the blog, and should the blogger decide to put something up that gets a lot of bad press, very negative feedback, well, these advertisers who end up...
Absolutely right. It's when you pick and choose and work with a blogger, it's a bit like choosing a brand ambassador. It's like what Gillette would choose Roger Federer for certain reasons because he fits in with the brand. Similarly, when you work with a blogger, you need to sort of make sure that they fit in with the brand. And that's the only reason why you would work with them, and you would want to work with them on a long-term basis. So you wouldn't want a flash in the pan and then go away.
But what are they looking for? Just the most number of hits? Are they looking for informative bloggers? Are they looking for sensational bloggers? What are they looking for?
I think advertisers and marketers try or want to ride on the authenticity of these bloggers, because these bloggers have something which mainline media does not, which is they're real, they're genuine, and therefore they have a certain amount of authenticity and therefore influence. And that's what they want to ride upon, because they feel that their readers believe what they say, and therefore they want to be associated with them. But in a way, doing things like these is a bit risky, because you risk on losing that authenticity. And once you lose that, then maybe advertisers would not be too keen on working.
From the advertising perspective, is this the future of advertising, the internet? Is this where all the money is going to get?
No, this is the
dumped
present.
Into at some
This
point?
is the present.
True, but
this is what it is.
At some point, what is the? is this going to get even bigger? Is more money going to be even going to get pumped into online advertising?
Absolutely.
Blogs, especially.
There is no more debate or discussion about is there going to be more money. It's about the speed at which things are changing, and it's about how quickly people are adapting.
Hey, let me ask this question to everyone here. What do you think the future of blogging in Singapore is going to be like?
It's almost plateaued, to be honest. When you talk to bloggers in China, they've seen this plateau and the reduction. And it's in terms of trying to make money through advertising, I think gone are the days of the advertorials, gone are the days of putting an ad on your website. It's all about trying to integrate it in with your normal message. Freelance writing, I think that's where the money is for bloggers.
But more conservative or more controversial?
Depends on your niche audience.
Yeah, that's why there's different market of audience.
I think blogging is going into two directions, really. A lot of bloggers who talk about their dogs and cats are sort of dying off, and they're choosing to do stuff on Facebook and Twitter instead. But people who are still carrying on are the more serious people who sort of almost look at it as a mini media vehicle and a media platform for themselves, and they're putting in more effort into the content and they're carrying on. So it's sort of dying off for the less serious people.
Yeah. It's completely different though, because like in the circles of blogging that I move, that's completely different. I don't see, it doesn't always come up about money. In fact, the people I know who blog are becoming more towards seeing themselves more as journalists now instead of just bloggers.
Okay, one final question before the end of the show, and this is just this is just a personal question. Yes, no. Blogs that come from Singapore, can they be taken seriously, Charlotte?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely, yes.
And so say bloggers from Singapore. Thank you, everyone. Tweet us your questions, actually. We're inviting you to do that right now, right up to the day of the next recording that we'll be having next week, because next week we're going to have MPs Tim Pei Ling and Vikram Nair. They're going to be on the couch with us, and they're going to be telling us, is the job of an MP everything that
they signed up for?
Exactly. So tweet us your questions to them, or send us your questions through Facebook, and we shall see you
Ask
next
us anything, okay? Anything.